So now we've got the header sorted, we're going to go for the main. So to begin, we're just going to put a main comment, and then let's add this main tag in. In that main, we're going to have a section, and that's the section we're working on now. And within that, again, we're going to have a div, and that div is just for stylistic purposes in case we want to introduce some sort of margin. So first things first, let's get H1 in there. And we're going to put adopt and animal. We're going to have to increase the size of that. Let's get back to mobile actually, because we are building mobile first. So that of course needs to be bigger. It's going to be central as well. So let's put that text-2 Excel. That looks about right to me. And below that, we're going to have a paragraph of text. We're just going to call Laura 25 on this, just to save time, and let's not just, be wasting our time writing out a load of text when we're here to do a tutorial and work on Tailwind. And at the end of this, we're going to put a button. And for now, we're just going to put the type as button. Nice and simple, and we're just going to put adopt now. So that's looking okay. We've got our things sort of set up, but realistically, we're going to need to sort of center these things. So let's get into the centering. So can we just do text center? So that, yeah, that's all good. And also we're going to have some sort of margin and padding from the top as well. So let's get that in as well. I think that the section should have a nice color. So I'm going to go, let me just type that flex, and then for some reason it's not coming up straight away. Get rid of flex on there now. I just like having that prompt person there. That whole section's gonna have a padding of 5 the whole way around. And let's center this as well. So text dash center. We want this button. Of course, it's looking pretty boring right now. So let's get some padding on that. So on the PX, I'm going to put 4, PY 2. Definitely not that. And also we probably need to change the background color as well. So BG. Let's go. Is it a light? Yeah, light green. Oh, definitely not 24. That's a very funny looking button. And to be fair, the whole of this section, instead of putting text center and all that sort of stuff, we'll just put class flex, flex col, and align. Sorry, not align. Item center. And we can get rid of all this text center. Text center. And yeah, okay, that's sorted. We're gonna obviously have some. You've got to have some rounding in the buttons, haven't you? It's just it is what it is. So this is rounded. This is, you can see here at the top, border radius. We're gonna go medium on this. And of course as well, we're going to need some sort of padding between the H1, the paragraph, and the button. So let's get that done as well. I think actually on this class we should have text center. It just looks a bit weird, I think, with that on the left hand side, and typically on mobile it does for some reason look better centered. This H1 sorted. So the text-2 Excel, of course, P for padding, and let's just do PY of 5, and let's have a look at how this comes out as well. I probably want Now I might put this text as 4XL like it was before. I've got a feeling it might be too big, but you gotta try it out. Yeah, it's a little too big. Let's try 3. And at the same time, let's have a look. I think the paragraph is looking okay. We just need some padding for that as well. Let's just put py-3 on there. So py is obviously padding on the y-axis, and all this sort of stuff you can, if you're struggling or you need to find something that you can't seem to find, then yeah, have a look at the documentation. In my opinion, it's really good. So that's even now. So see, I've done py2 on the top, py3 in the middle, and py2 on the button. So it's quite evenly separated, but I thought the button needs a bit more, and I'm going to put that. Actually, I'm going to put margin on that instead. I'm going to put margin top -3. I just want that just to be really separate and on its own. So yeah, I quite like that. I think the padding on the bottom of this, I do want it to be a bit more. And I know I'm not being too sophisticated with this, but I'm trying to do it quickly. So let's add some more padding to the bottom. So let's do pv-3. Oh no, that's going to reduce it. pv-8. Yeah, that's looking good to me. So from here, we don't need a hover on this because of course this is mobile. And when we're starting to get bigger, obviously we can see that this is just looking a bit silly now. If we get to sort of this sort of size, you know, that we don't want the text across like that. So what we're going to do is we're going to put an image on the right hand side, and of course get this text moved to the left hand side so that it's not just, you know, really badly spread out across the whole page on a sort of desktop or laptop. So let's get that done now. So we still want this div, but actually what we could do is add a secondary div below, and that's how we're going to separate these sections. So the div on the left is going to have all this stuff in, and this is going to cover the left hand side, and then we're just going to have the image in a div on its own. So we've got that in an image on the right hand side, and of course this is going to be hidden to begin with, so we can definitely put that as class hidden. And we need to work out what sort of size this is going to work for as well. Of course, on here we need this flex to be flex row actually, although it doesn't actually matter for mobile. And then on the div that we've just created, yeah, we're just going to change that to flex column. So now for the image we're going to use actually something called PlaceDog. I don't know if you've heard of it, but it's a great sort of site that provides basically placeholder images on our dogs. And of course, this being an animal themed site, it kind of makes sense to use that. So we're going to put that in there, and the 300 is the sort of size it is, and we're just going to make the screen bigger. Actually, of course, we're going to need to change this to, we're going to choose large to begin with. So large, let's just put it flex, and we're going to do that twice. Okay, let's have a look, see what's happening. Okay, so we've got that image there, that the little dog going for a run, and of course now this is where the sort of div comes in to begin with. This is why I put that stylistic div, because right now this is obviously way too big, and especially when we get to the large screen, it just looks a bit silly, doesn't it? So let's improve that, reduce the size of this, and get that sorted. I think mobile we're actually done. So yeah, let's have a look at the at the sort of laptop / desktop size. When we get to large, we want to sort of reduce the width of it. So we're going to put, to begin with, a max. Actually, no, did this earlier. No, just width 10/12, and we'll see how that comes out. We want to have sort of the of course, with this we need the margin sorted as well, mx-auto, so that we are centered nicely. And we're also going to change the, well, we're actually going to just set this. So we're going to change this to justify around. Hopefully give a nice effect. So let's see what we get after these changes. I'm going to increase the size, and there the image comes in. So it is looking a bit better. We could maybe even go a little bit smaller on that actually, especially at the sort of XL. So yeah, I'm actually going to make that smaller. I'm going to go for, let's go for 8. As well as that, I want to put some more padding when we go large. So when we get to large, I'm going to put padding of, let's go 20. Sorry, p/20. Yeah, I like that. I think here we probably do need to get this text onto the left, and this image is also a bit small as well. So yeah, let's work with that. I want to add some stuff to the image as well. So I want the class. I always like it to be rounded, to be honest. Rounded, and we're going to call the min width of full. Sort this out. So we're going to go LG text left instead, and that'll get it to the left when we go on the larger screens. Yeah, I'm going to put LG flex shrink 0 to, because I want that image to stay the same size. It's getting a bit too small when we go into shrinking the screen. So yeah, let's do that. And as well, for the paragraph and the image, I just want to add some padding to the sort of inside of that. So we're going to put the PL, let's do -5, so that's padding left 5. So then on this div, we should also put LG padding right -5, just to make it even. And now we're going to see how that looks on a screen, on a large screen. There we go. See how that image is staying nice and big now. And that is kind of exactly the sort of thing I wanted to go for, because before, if you remember, it was just getting really small, and that's just something to avoid. You see here the writing now is going more sync to the left, and we've just got a bit more padding. I might actually add more writing here, or I might actually reduce the size of this, so just put a max width on it. What I could do is make the text bigger, because we're getting on quite a big screen now, and I could even make the top bit bigger as well. So yeah, I think I want to do that. I think I want to go, when we go to large, let's put the H1 to the left as well. So text left, and we want the text to be bigger as well. So let's go, we're on 3XL right now, so let's go 5XL. Let's see if we're been a bit ridiculous there. We'll see in a second, I suppose. And then this text as well. So when we go large, we want to go to, we definitely want it smaller than the header. Let's go 2x. Oh no, I pressed 3, so let's see what happens. Sorry, and that's text 3XL. Press save on that. Okay, yeah, that is definitely, I think that's okay for bigger. Maybe not, actually, maybe not. Where does it break? You see, at this point, well before the break point, it's looking a bit weird. So let's maybe increase the width here. So when we go large, let's put it 10 out of 12, just because now we've increased the size of the text, we do really need a bit more space. And we can see that here. Oops. Okay, that is looking a lot better. I do think that having the adopt an animal on the left hand side, actually I might move the adopt now on the left hand side as well. I just want to check what's happening when we go small. Yeah, I think it's just getting a bit too cramped when we go to here, so we're going to change this to 2XL. We're going to do text left on the large, which already should be the H1, and then on the button as well. So when we get to large, we want to, oh, okay, I know why it's happened, because I've aligned the text, but the flex is still central. So we're going to go large, and we're going to go self start. There we go. And the same with the header. So instead of text left, because it actually was never set to center or anything, so it wasn't actually the text left that was doing that, it was the flex. And there we go. I personally think that's looking a lot better. I still do think this is definitely a bit too wide. That's probably on XL. Let's see where we go. So we have the XL breakpoint there. Maybe we could just put a max width of 60% maybe on that. So let's have a look at that now. So we go like that, and then when we get to XL max W, I need to double check this as well, because no, I'm just going to put W dash, and let's do, where's 2/3? Is it there? 66%. Let's see what happens. Oh no. So let's go back, and if we do this, we should finally have this sorted. So XL, because we're on, this is only happening on the XL size, we're changing the width to 2/3, 66.66%. So let's do self start. And yeah, there we go. I say even on the big screen, maybe these are a bit too far apart now, but we can also change that. So if we go XL on this class here, so if we just make it a little smaller, so it's, before it was 10/12 the width, so let's go 8/12, and let's see what's going on. Okay, I'm pretty happy with that. So now we've got the next section done. So we go from, let's go back down to, let's go full screen here. Let's go back down to the 320-ish is the iPhone 5. So we keep going up, and instead of having a break, we have a breakpoint coming up here, and there we go. We get the image come up, and the text moves down to the left. And we can see that as we scroll up, we get another breakpoint there. So we've got these two separated. And if we just come out of it all together, this whole thing is responsive. So we've created sort of the responsiveness for the next section. So let's move on to the triple section of the sort of how, why, and when.